Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this presentation. My name is Martin Klar. I'm responsible for the Embedded Vision team at Phytec. And normally at this point, I would ask who knows Phytec already. That doesn't work today because I can't see you. So a really short introduction who we are. We come from embedded design in general. That's what we have been doing for 34 years now. And for 26 years, we have also a team specialized for embedded vision. Phytec has 370 employees worldwide, 40% engineers, 100% nice people. And our main business is designing hardware for embedded systems, from system on module, single board computers, to fully customized designs. And software-wise, we are designing the matching board support packages, mainly Linux operating systems, which also contain the middleware and customized adaptations. And we offer a lot of services around embedded systems. I will show some later in this presentation. We heard a little about the technology of embedded vision already. So today I would like to talk a bit behind the scenes of embedded vision development. There are so many different understandings out there in the market. What is embedded vision and what does it mean? So the first question I would like to ask is, what is embedded vision? And I brought some examples of products that our customers built with our hardware. And I would like to ask the question, what does those products have in common? Beside the fact that they have a camera and use image processing. Well, I would say there is not so much in common. They are all pretty individual products. So I think one of the main characteristics of embedded vision is it needs customizing. And this means we typically have to deal with many different requirements so that the vision hardware is really adapted and individualized to the product. I put some requirements together here that came from customer projects, and you see there is requirements that concern embedded vision, like the image resolution needed or the lens specification. But then there are many other requirements. For example, all these products are individually shaped. So we need to design the shape of our hardware accordingly. Or our product might need additional integrated peripherals, like a motor driver, for example, or environmental sensors. Let's think about temperature, humidity, acceleration sensor that we need for the process that runs into this specific application. And because embedded products are typically sold in higher quantities, we have to think about a design that is optimized for mass production. And we have to think about the product costs. I know engineers don't like that, but we know that is the world we have to deal with. So the challenges are, how can we handle all these requirements and design a good product in a short time? And in addition, how can we minimize the maintenance efforts while our product is out in the market? We have to think about lifecycle management when we have products out in the field. So in this presentation, I would like to show some products and services that Phytec offers to serve these requirements and to make the embedded vision design easier. So the key idea is to use a make and buy strategy here. This means we are using pre-designed components for those parts of the product which are pretty standard. And the individual part remaining is placed on a specific application board, sometimes also called baseboard or carrier board. So we are basically dividing the problem into a standard part we don't have to care about, which is boring work anyways, and the individual part that makes our product our product. And this simplifies and speeds up the design process because we only have to care about the design of the individual application board. And this also means less design risks and costs. And because this specific peripheral board is customized to our application, it is cheap to produce. We don't have to put many things together. For this concept, we need industrial graded components, which have to fulfill certain requirements. So to enable this, Phytec offers ready-to-use camera modules and CPU modules, and reminder, the individual application board allows then the design to be adapted to the application. What we haven't mentioned yet is the software part. Those of you who have spending days on trying to integrate a driver into a Linux system know what I'm talking about. So our Linux BSPs already include some middleware and the software drivers of the components, so the software design can basically be reduced to the application design. Let's get a bit more into the details here. What is important to know when you want to get a pre-designed standard component? Well, first, of course, it has to match our requirements. So you have to find the right camera and the right computer module that meets your specification, your application needs. To enable this, Phytec offers more than 26 board level cameras that can be combined with around about 6 of our computer modules that are qualified for embedded vision. And all of these components have been matched, so they work together with each other out of the box. Matching means, on one hand, that we use standardized board level interfaces to connect the camera modules to the computer boards. And on the other hand, that they work together software-wise. And this is very important. The Linux BSP that comes with the computer boards already include the software drivers of the camera modules. So it's basically plug and play. And not to forget, we also have the middleware included in the board support packages. That's, for example, vision libraries like OpenCV or Halcon or TensorFlow, GStreamer, and so on. So the software designer can focus on the application. I think even more important are the services behind the hardware. Longevity is very important when you have your product out in the market. You don't want to touch it often to keep it deliverable. So the good news here is Phytec never discontinues a product as long as the key components are available. We have a product change management team that constantly ensures that our camera and computer modules are available even for 10 years or longer. So that is kind of an obsolescence management. If a part is not available any longer, we will replace it on the computer board so it has the same functionality for you when you buy the product. And our software team keeps the board support package up to date. Typically, we issue LTS, that's long-term stable Linux releases, and provide update patches for that. A new service that I can already mention that we are starting right now is a so-called continuously maintained BSP. So you are always provided with the latest changes and updated on, let's say, almost a daily base. And this becomes more and more important. Just think of security patches when your product is out in the field, it's connected to the internet, and you have to think about how can you maintain this, this product so that it's still safe and secure. Let's have a look on the remaining part of the job, the individual part. And actually, it's the very important part because this is what makes your product special. And of course, Phytec wants you to be successful. And we were thinking, how can we support you best in this step? There are several tracks that you can follow to design your product. So we are offering several scalable services. If you are the maker type and want to design your application board on your own, the best way to start would be buying a development kit, which contains the camera, computer module, baseboard, and the complete software ecosystem. And our kits also include all informations that you need for designing your own application board. That's the schematic of the computer module, the schematics of the baseboard, application design guide, and so on. We offer support for you in any state of your development. For example, we can take over software driver integration or just help you at any point you probably get stuck. And a very important point, we can do design support, like doing the reviews of your schematics, your layout, and so on, so that you can profit from our design experience and reduce the design risks by this external reviews. Maybe you are the type who wants to focus on your idea and your application software. You don't want to be bothered with hardware design, or just you don't have time for this. In this case, just talk to us about your requirements and let us worry about the rest, which means we can do fully custom designs from the specification to the production. We can even ship your product to your customers. And of course, we can take over the complete lifecycle management, which means we can do the product change management for your product. And we also care about update solutions for your software, so that you can update your application software even when your product is out in the field. That's a lot of services. We have even more. I just don't want to explain them all here. Our time is limited. So if you are planning to make a new product, what would be a good way to start your project? I have 2 suggestions for you. First, we offer a free project workshop day for qualified projects. And this means you can talk to our experts about your project and your requirements. And we will show you possible solutions. We can set up a course specification already, and so on. So this is working on your project for 1 day. And of course, these days right now, we can do this as an online meeting too, because of the Corona situation. Another good way to start is to get one of our embedded imaging kits I mentioned before. The kits contain everything you need to evaluate the system: camera module, lens, computer module, cables, development baseboards, and actually the components in the kits are not development hardware, but they are already industrial graded components that are potentially ready for the mass production. You're working really very close to the solution that you want to ship right from the start. And I should mention that we can customize the kits. If you need a different camera module or a different lens, that's no problem. So you can really start with a kit that contains what you need for your specific situation. Right now we have a special offer here. It's in German here on the screen on the right. Each kit contains a voucher for free development support worth 500 euro. This is kind of a Corona special right now, because we know it's hard to catch up with project goals. I was talking this summer to many customers, and I heard that there have been delays in the product development. So we were thinking, how can we support you better in this situation? So that's why we add this support package Basic Plus to each of our kits. This is, I think, valid until the end of this year. I'm at the end of this presentation. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm curious about your questions now.